China revealed 2 new stealth fighter designs in one momentous day. In fewer than 24 hours on Thursday, 2 Chinese airplane makers revealed new stealth fighter demonstrators. And not just any demonstrators. The separate designs from airframers Chengdu and Shenyang may be among the most sophisticated manned fighters ever. The Chinese military traditionally reveals major new technology at the end of the Western calendar year in December or January. Perhaps most famously, the People's Liberation Army allowed the first images of Chengdu's J-20 stealth fighter to circulate online in January 2011. 13 years later, there could be hundreds of J-20s in frontline service with the PLA Air Force. This year's surprise was among the most dramatic for the PLA's public relations machine. Around the same time on Thursday, videos appeared online depicting 2 different manned stealth fighter demonstrators in flight. The Chengdu model had a J-20 escort. The Shenyang type flew alongside a Shenyang-made Sukhoi Su-27 clone. Both new types are tailless deltas. If you like the video, support us by subscribing. Their wings and all control surfaces appear to be in the same horizontal plane. That can reduce a fighter's radar signature, but at a cost. Such vehicles are known to be aerodynamically complex aircraft with distinctive flight dynamic characteristics and intricate flight control laws, a team wrote in a 2007 report for the U.S. Air Force Flight Test Center. It's apparent the PLAAF is determined to acquire an extremely stealthy fighter with complex flight controls, and it isn't taking any chances. The Air Force's 2 major fighter makers are both working on designs. One could succeed where the other fails and still deliver an important wartime capability. The Chinese military took the same approach with its first generation of stealth fighters. Chengdu's twin-engine, supersonic J-20 worked as designed, and the PLAAF ultimately ordered a large number. But if the J-20 had failed, there was an alternative, the lighter Shenyang J-35, which first flew in 2012 and may yet enter frontline service as a Navy carrier fighter. The Thursday reveal was momentous, but it was partly a marketing triumph. It's worth noting that the U.S. Air Force tested what was likely a tailless fighter demonstrator back in 2020 as part of its troubled next-generation air dominance program. NGAD has come so far that the full-scale flight demonstrator has already flown in the physical world, Will Roper, then the head of Air Force Acquisitions, said at the time. Where the USAF has hidden its new stealth fighter demonstrator, the PLAAF has proudly showed off both of its own new demonstrators. What happens next depends on how well the demonstrators actually work under the stress of hard use in a real-world context, and how many billions of dollars Beijing is willing to invest in one or both designs. If you like the video, support us by subscribing. Either or both demonstrators could become multi-role fighters with serious air-to-air capability. But they might also function as stealthy ground attack planes. The PLAAF is developing new medium and long-range stealth bombers to strike regional and global targets, the Pentagon noted in the latest edition of its annual report on the Chinese military. The long-range stealth bomber, the ZN-H-20 Flying Wing, is still in development and may not appear in public for another few years. The medium-range stealth bomber, the so-called JHXX, has been more of a mystery. Could Thursday's surprise demonstrators evolve into medium bombers? It's possible. The larger of the 2 designs is roughly diamond-shaped, with 3 air intakes for its engines, 2 alongside the fuselage and 1 on top, an extremely unusual configuration. The smaller one has a more conventional layout, but no tail. Both have the lack of 90-degree angles typical of stealth shaping, which is designed to reduce radar detection. As China modernizes its military, the designs show the willingness of China's aviation industry to experiment and innovate, said Ewan Graham, a senior analyst at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. Whatever the merits or demerits, it appears to be a highly original design, he said. They deserve kudos for that, and should shake off any lingering complacency that the U.S. and its allies always set the pace. China's defense ministry did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The U.S. Department of Defense said it was aware of the reports, but said it did not have additional comment beyond what was included in its annual report on the Chinese military this month. Sixth-generation fighter jets. The United States is years into its next-generation air dominance (NGAD) program, which is developing a sixth-generation fighter aircraft, but it is not clear what form the effort will take under President-elect Donald Trump's incoming administration. Europe and Asia are collaborating on a separate next-generation aircraft under the Global Combat Air Program, and recently announced a joint British-Japanese company. Reuters confirmed a video showing the larger of the two new Chinese aircraft flying over Chengdu by matching nearby buildings, signage, logos and trees to satellite imagery and file images. The date could not be verified independently. The Chinese aircraft in the online images are not the first modern tailless designs. The Northrop Grumman, NOC.N, opens new Tab B-2 and B-21 stealth bombers are both flying wings, and several uncrewed aircraft, such as the Lockheed Martin, LM2.N, opens new Tab RQ-170 in China's CH-7, lack tails. Neither Chinese jet has an official designation that has been made public. Although the designs are novel relative to the rest of China's fleet, it is not possible to tell how stealthy they are, how maneuverable or fast they are, or what sort of under-the-hood avionics they carry, the sorts of detail needed to determine whether they are truly next-generation designs, 5 defense experts said. Peter Layton, a defense and aviation expert at the Griffith Asia Institute in Australia, noted it was difficult in general to apply labels such as fifth generation, which includes current stealth jets such as the F-22 and F-35, to Chinese aircraft, which often include unique design features that never appear again. China's J-20 and J-35 also have stealthy characteristics, but their capabilities are not publicly known and only the J-20 is in service. The United States has been pouring resources into advanced missiles and other systems to deter China in the Indo-Pacific region. It recently tested a missile interception system on the strategically crucial island of Guam using an advanced radar. China's daytime flights of the new designs over cities where they could be easily seen was curious, said Kelly Greco, a senior fellow at the U.S.-based Stimson Center. She said it might be easier for China to match pace with the United States on aircraft rather than uncrewed vehicles and missiles. As the Pentagon is actively debating the future of NGAD, it is hard not to wonder if this is Beijing's attempt to influence that debate, she added. Separately on Friday, Chinese state media outlet Xinhua reported the People's Liberation Army Navy had launched its newest amphibious assault ship. According to unconfirmed accounts, the second combat aircraft design is from the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, SAC, while the first, larger design is from the rival Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, CAC. While Shenyang is responsible for the production of Chinese developments of the flanker multi-role fighter family and the medium-weight J-35 stealth fighter family, Chengdu builds the J-10 multi-role medium fighter and the heavy J-20 stealth fighter. The second tactical jet aircraft design was shown in some of the photos being chased by a flanker series fighter, perhaps a two-seat J-16, which would lend further support to the idea that it's a Shenyang product. Thank you. Subscribe for daily updates.